All right, so a 6-goal thriller, we can call it, I suppose, but Barcelona, more importantly, get the 3 points. And let's just show you exactly what that means for them. It means that after their rivals, Real Madrid, drop points today to Rayo Vallecano, Barca now move within 3 points of the Madrid side. Let's welcome in our Luis Garcia for this one. Luis, thoughts on the victory? Of course, it left a little bit of a bitter taste in our mouth seeing Frankie de Jong sent off there. But in the end, we knew it was going to be difficult. We knew it was going to be entertaining, but Barca got the job done.
Yeah, exactly. It was about getting those 3 points and get closer to Real Madrid on the top of the league. It started well. I think that Barcelona did what they had to do in the first 45, but we knew that that high line was going to cost them something. I think that too many mistakes, and only on the pressing and the wide areas they were struggling so much, arriving to the player on the ball, and then that was causing them that they could have time to place the ball where they have to on the fantastic runs from the midfielders of Celta Vigo, doing Borja Iglesias a great job holding the ball, laying off, and allow Celta Vigo's runners. And in the second half, I don't know what happened with Celta Vigo, because when you play against Barcelona, you need to understand that for 90 minutes, you have to do 100% everything that you need to do. And the moment that you give them 10 minutes, you're going to give away everything that you've done, all the work that you have done. So they decided to drop down, sit deep. I know there was a massive effort in the first 45, all those long runs from the back to the front to try to get those goals. But in the end, that was giving to the dominance to Barcelona, that they felt the control. They started making the possession longer and longer, and in the end, in a set pieces, arrived at that last goal. So I think that great job from Barcelona, and not that we were expecting. We've been trying to see this Barcelona a little bit more solid at the back, but in the end, it was again about keeping the momentum, getting another 3 points. And that big blow of Frankie de Jong that is not going to be available for Athletic Club de Bilbao, one of the toughest teams of the season.
Well, I just wanted to touch on that, because when we were coming on air, I said to the producer, I don't like this referee. And he said, just tell me a referee you like. That's going to be a shorter list. Yeah. And it is difficult because, well, that is a big call, because Pedri's already out. Casado picked up an injury in the warm-up. And now Frankie de Jong is going to be suspended. And it's consistency. Now, you could argue till the cows come home, he stood on him and should have had a yellow card. You know, not every challenge is a yellow card. I'll give you an example. I don't know if Luis remembers this. The first half of this game, Borja Iglesias had a hold of Frankie de Jong like a rugby game for about 10 seconds. Just held him back and stopped him on his tracks. He did not book him. That's what yellow cards are for. They're for clear and obvious fouls like that are just not even attempting to play the ball, and challenges that are rash and really, really late. It's not for just a little stand on the toe when you're trying to poke the ball away. So it's the inconsistencies within the referees. This referee in particular, we see him a lot. And I think he is very inconsistent in his decision-making. That being said, what we saw from Barcelona today again is not going to fill you full of confidence in terms of the defence. Although they did take the sting out of the game in the second half. And Celta Vigo, as Luis said, stopped doing all the things that were productive for them in the first half. And that was getting forward with pace and playing it in behind quickly with those little 1-2s. Barcelona did a better job of thwarting that. Obviously, the Lewandowski hat-trick is a great boost for him, because, you know, he's not getting any younger, but it never sort of leaves you. But I think as we go along in this season, we're not going to stop talking about what they were doing. And as Stevie said, after the Club Brugge game, to come out, take the lead, and then do that on the halfway line again as quickly as they did, it's just quite scary. But it's 3 points and they move on.
Because of that line, it's what's going to cost them either the Liga title or the Champions League title, because you can't step on the field and have to score 3-4 goals every time you want to win a game when you're giving 2 away. I mean, you can't consistently do that, because you'll come up against sides who, if you give clear chances and you give goals away too easy, they're not going to be cannon fodder like teams like Celta Vigo were today, when you can just go away and score 4 goals. And so it's one thing to say, well, we won. But the truth of the matter is, when you come up against better opposition, better organised teams, you ain't getting away with that. And that's what's going to hold them back.
Well, Luis, one of the bright sides for Barcelona today was seeing Lewandowski back on the score sheet, not once, not twice, but 3 times as well. You know, I think our commentators pointed out that just a couple of weeks ago, people were writing him off as Barcelona's big man up front. But once again, he's showing that, you know, form is temporary and class really is permanent.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, when he's closer and he understood once again, then he cannot be moving on around. He cannot make doing big efforts to the wide areas. He needs to be right there inside the box because he is so dangerous. He had so many abilities when he's into the box. His ability to go in the air, to 2 feet, he is clinical, and that's where you can get the best of this player because we've seen this for so many years, and that's not going to change. And much more when you get fantastic players on the wide areas putting that great crosses.
So he comes inside Marcus Rashford on the first one, and he plays this great ball in, and then the fullback, who I think got the hook at half-time, got subbed. The fullback then's thinking, I can't let him come in his right foot and whip it in for Lewandowski again. So he steps in and Rashford takes him on the outside for the Yamal goal just at half-time. So Rashford really had that fullback on toast today, and that was a big problem for Celta Vigo, whereas Yamal on the other side, particularly in the first half, was a lot quieter. In terms of Lewandowski, as long as he doesn't have to run the channels and do all that, it's not a problem.
Still quality.
Because that instinct will never go away, that movement. He only has to move. You know, with Stevie played with Ian Rush and all these other players who just came alive in the box. That's what they thrived on. And Lewandowski's always been like that. And as the years go by, Hansi Flick isn't expecting him to close the ball down as much, to run the channel, to drop deep. Just make sure you're there in the right place at the right time, getting on the end of it. I mean, you look at the goal, the penalty was the penalty. That was just getting in the right place, and the set piece was just getting in front of your defender. And it was a goal from nothing, really. His third goal of the hat-trick was a goal from absolutely nothing. The corner comes in. He shouldn't really score from where he is. So, yeah, that's a huge bonus for them. But again, they will score goals. That's not something where I don't think we're going to ever have to concern ourselves about. Oh, Barcelona are struggling to create chances and score. We know where the discussion is going. But at least they've given themselves 3 points today on a game against a side who had 5 straight wins. They're away from home. It was a chaotic game for most part. It could have gone anyway, particularly in the first half. But they've picked up the 3 points. They can brush themselves down and then wait on the international break to get an over. But the big decision in the end there was Frankie de Jong getting sent off, which I think we all agree was pretty harsh.
Yeah, I wish we could only have a camera every time on Stevie Nicol that back line is defending so highly. Your face, Stevie, when they conceded that first goal, you were like, eh?